kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super quick and easy Italian inspired meatball recipe. So let's get started. I have a pound of 1585 ratio ground beef. I'm going to crack open one egg. I am going to add some parsley. So I usually like to cook with fresh ingredients. I don't have any fresh parsley on hand, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of that. And again, I don't really like using measurements. I cook via sight and via taste, so just enough to kind of cover the top of the ground beef. I'm gonna add some black pepper in here. I'm also going to add some salt, and I'm gonna go light on the actual salt because I am using Parmesan Reggiano cheese, and that is fairly salty, so I don't want to over salt my meat either. I have about a cup here of fresh shredded cheese, and I'm going to use a little bit less than the whole cup, so I'm probably going to leave a fourth of a cup, and I'm going to use that for garnish at the end. All right, friends, I guess this is a fucking rookie mistake. I totally forgot to add minced garlic and finely chopped onion to my meatballs, so I'm gonna do it right now. I already had my little meatballs all like in little balls and stuff, but it is important because it wouldn't be Italian without garlic, right? And onions. It's like a main ingredient. So again, I'm just gonna use my hand and combine, and we'll fast forward to where we're supposed to be at right now. I do not have any breadcrumbs. Usually Italian style meatballs have breadcrumbs as a binding agent, but since I don't have that, I'm gonna use regular all-purpose flour. So roughly I'm gonna eyeball it, and it's gonna be a nice hefty tablespoon. And then the fun part, I'm gonna smush it with my hands. And the reason why I use my hands is because it just helps combine everything so that regardless of the piece of meat that you get, it all kind of has like the same flavor mixed together. So just gonna combine that. So I feel like everything's kind of integrated in there really nicely, and just by sight I see that I can't see any of my parsley, so I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit more. I also got the world's smallest little baby parsley, so maybe that's why. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then I'm gonna combine that just so I can kind of see that it's there. Once I feel it's properly integrated and everything looks really nice, I'm gonna start rolling my meatballs. So a trick to kind of figure out if your meatballs are gonna stay together during the cooking process is to roll them. So we're gonna get whatever fits in your palm, we're going to roll them, and it's very important that you remember and you kind of try to keep them all uniform so that the cooking time is the same for all of your little meatballs. So I'm gonna choose to make small meatballs because I am gonna feed my kids and they think it's cute. So roughly the size of my palm. You see how my hands are clean. There's no meat, they're not dry, they're really nicely. This is what you want your meatball to look like. My meatballs look like they're fairly all the same size except for that one. I'm gonna feed that one to my cat. And we are going to get started on the cooking process. I am going to add some olive oil and a minced garlic tooth to infuse delicious flavor. And I'm not gonna let this burn because burnt garlic is not tasty. I'm just gonna kind of mix it around, make sure it all gets like a nice little color. And then I'm gonna add the star of the show. Anytime I make anything with a tomato sauce, I love this marinara sauce. It is amazing. It's from Trader Joe's. Find it in their sauce section. Highly recommend. I love putting this over pizza, over bread, over pasta, anything and everything. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. So I just do this to add a little bit of something extra, but it's definitely not needed. A lot of people like to sear their meatballs before cooking them. I'm on a time crunch. I gotta feed my family, and if you don't care for the searing or not, the meatballs are gonna cook really nicely in this. So once it kind of starts to kind of bubble like that, you're gonna wanna add your marinara sauce. So I'm gonna start by adding more than half. At this point, it's starting to bubble. I'm gonna put the temperature down just a little bit. I had it over medium-high heat, And I'm going to place my meatballs in here with love. They are not going to be fully covered, which is what I want at the moment. Just making sure that they all kind of stay together really nicely. Place my meatballs as, I guess, separated as I could in the pan. And now I'm going to go back and add the rest of my sauce and kind of cover as much as I can. And I'm going to fill this up maybe a little bit less than half worth of water so that all of my meatballs are submerged under my sauce. I filled up my jar halfway with water, put a lid on it, shook it, make sure to get all the nice extra sauce, and I'm going to just pour the whole thing in here so that all of my meatballs are covered. I'm going to let this bubble covered and check back in about 15 minutes. This is gonna go over a medium-low heat, making sure that once I find that the meatballs are more cooked, I'll be able to stir, but right now I wanna make sure they keep intact. So I'm just gonna put a lid and keep this covered. And it's smelling great right now. It is about the 8-minute mark. And you can see a lot of the fat from the meat is over here. The meatballs have kept their shape and they're looking pretty good. Now is the time to go ahead and kind of start moving the marinara sauce because remember the bottom part was a bit thicker. It didn't have the water mixture. So I'm just gonna lightly kind of integrate everything and then uncovered, let it kind of just reduce so that it's not so liquidy. So that it's not so liquidy. And here we are at the 15 to 20 minute mark, depending on your cooking temperatures for your stove and stuff like that. This is what it's looking like. Delicious, amazing. I'm gonna serve this over some penne pasta. And yep, super easy, super simple and flavorful. Hope you give it a go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.